Well, everybody. My voice is a little bit out of breath, so apologies. Literally come out of the City ground. I love this place. Every time I come here, women's teams win. So happy days. Not the greatest performance, but Newcastle are 3 unbeaten at the start of the Premier League season and the Cup as well. This is the last word. Let's get going. It's a penalty shootout, it's a lottery. Forest could have won it, Newcastle could have won it. Not the greatest performance, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And of course the countdown of the transfer window is coming towards the end. There's only 48 hours left to go. Can Newcastle get 1 or 2 over the line? We'll see. But let's take a look at the lineup. So obviously we knew there was going to be some changes coming in to this game. It was more or less of how many changes there would be. And obviously Tonali, it was his night. If you haven't seen the vlog, by the way, go and have a look at the vlog, because Tyndall pushes Tonali to the crowd, to all over. It was a great moment. It's quite an emotional moment, actually. It had me wobbling. But yeah, it was his night. He was in from the start, which was a massive surprise. Did not expect Tonali to start, to be honest with you. I thought we'd come off the bench and be given the last 15-20 minutes for his match fitness, but he lasted an hour, so of course it's all about him tonight. It's his first game back. It'll be talked upon national media, it'll be talked on the likes of TalkSport, what have you, tomorrow. It's his night. It's a long time to be out. For mentality, you would have suffered a lot of stress and probably depression at some point as well. Yes, he has an illness with the gambling, but obviously we've seen with the fantastic interview with the club that he's been over to Italy, and he still has to go over to Italy for his therapy, if you want to call it that, a course, whatever you want to call it. But look, it was his night. But the game, we had a good chance really start. I thought we started actually pretty well, to be fair. And we scored, what was it, 30 seconds? It was Isak on the right hand side, played through, and keeper saves it. Their keeper, by the way, he's massive, isn't he? It's huge. Ball ricochets to Willock, who's got an empty net, and he puts home, and Newcastle are 1-0 up, and it all happened so quickly. It was quite like a slow motion because it happened at the other end of the pitch where the away fans are situated. But 1-0 up, great start, brilliant start. And in that first half, I don't think it was a good game of football, to be honest with you. You could see both the sides rotated. We had a chance with Tonali to make it 2-0, and he's not really renowned for being in those positions. 1-on-1 the goalkeeper, and the keeper smothers himself. But Forest obviously did the test Nick Pope massively. No, Newcastle didn't really test. I felt Forest. I thought we were split open a few times in midfield, centre midfield. Willock's gone down with an injury. Let's just hope that's not too serious, because I am a little bit worried about that. Obviously Bruno came on as well, and it was interesting that Trippier went over to him and gave him the armband. So now we know, obviously they've been talked about in the media and the press conference with Eddie Howe, but now we know that Bruno will be ahead of Trippier. Obviously Eddie Howe didn't really confirm that. That's been confirmed tonight, that Bruno has the captain's armband. Trippier went over, gave him the armband. But I can't even remember Forest's goal, to be honest with you. It was all I just had that penalty. Penalties in my mind. Sean Longstaff, obviously he got the deciding penalty, didn't he? Forest's equaliser, I thought they probably deserved to score. It's frustrating at the time, because I felt in spells in that second half Forest was starting to gain a little bit of control. Sorry, I'm just laughing at what he just said. I don't know if that picked it up with the camera. But towards the end of the second half, Newcastle were then pushing forward. Obviously Anthony Gordon was on, and we had a few half chances. Lewis Hall, I remember having a shot just wide. I think Bruno had one as well, but were we testing the goalkeeper enough? Their reserve goalkeeper, probably not for me. But look, it went to penalties. Obviously there's no extra time. My mind's just all over the place, because it's just the end scenes there with Tonali. We'll come on in a minute. And obviously Forest had the advantage because Joelinton had his penalty saved. They had a couple that hit the bar. One hit the bar, one went over, which gives Sean Longstaff the opportunity. If he scored, it would have put Newcastle through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and he did, and it was fantastic. The way end here, by the way, the way end here is absolutely mental. It always seems to be on a nighttime game. We've had the Isak goals down the years, we've had the Bruno ones last season, we've had the penalty shootout The women have won here last season as well. when we're playing Forest in the league, by the way, it just seems to be a good night doing here. But obviously, you can see all the coaches behind me. They're all going home now, so they'll be heading off up the A1. Happy as Larry not get in till after clock, because no doubt the coach will want to stop and a few cans and tinnies might be used. But obviously the end scenes, oh man, the end scenes were fantastic. It was all about Tonali, wasn't it? It was all about Tonali, wasn't it?
It was.
What do you reckon of his comeback?
He was good, but he lacks a bit of fitness, doesn't he?
True, but the scenes at the end there, I mean, that's something that's going to live with him for a lifetime,
Like
isn't
I say, the ideal midfield you want, Bruno, Tonali, Joelinton. That's what you want.
I can't even remember much of the game, to be honest. It's just the scenes at the end. It was just one of those moments. Like, were you there when you seen Tonali come back? And it was phenomenal.
Absolutely ideal. That's what you want. He's back now. It'll only be a matter of time before Longstaff's out. Like,
what about Willock? Do you think his injury serious?
He scored, didn't he?
Do you think his injury serious?
He went down twice though, didn't he?
Hope it's not serious, because the last thing we need is more injuries. Obviously, Lewis Miley and so on.
Yeah.
Who do you want in the cup? Obviously, by the time this video goes out,
Southampton.
I'll put it on screen who we've got then, because I don't know yet.
Southampton to home.
Southampton at home.
Yeah.
Southampton away.
No,
away. I don't want to go all the way to Southampton again. I've just done Bournemouth, man. I don't want to do that again.
Southampton at home. To be fair, even a championship club, just get with the next.
I'll get your thoughts before you head off. Transfer window closes in 2 days. Are you like me that you think that's it, it's done, or do you think we can maybe get one through with like a loan or something?
I think we're still pushing for Guehi. I'd love a right winger, but the rumours were in Madueke, but I don't think that's happening now.
We just bagged a hat-trick, hadn't he?
Not after the hat-trick, no.
Like I say, I'd love Guehi, but I think it's too late to be looking at different centre-backs from abroad and things like that. But if Guehi came in, I think that would be a decent window.
It would be a good window, what Eddie Howe said. Well, thanks for coming on, boys.
What's the channel called?
Newcastle Fans TV. You'll see them out later on the night.
Thank you.
Take care, lads. Up the tune. So where was I? So the scenes there with Tonali, man. Like I say, I've just said the lads there. I can't remember much of the game. It feels like a blur now. It's just the scenes at the end, and everybody was singing for Tonali at the end there. And Tyndall got a hold of Tonali and pushed him, said, go and milk it, go and enjoy it. Because as I say, it would have been so hard for him not playing football. And people say, oh, he's on thousands and thousands and thousands. But obviously, remember, he took a pay cut. Still be a rich man, don't get me wrong. But not playing football and everybody looking at him and labelling him and so on. And you know, as a human being, I fell for him. Because people struggle with gambling. I personally don't gamble. I cut that out about 18 months ago. I don't have a problem with it, but something I've cut out of my life. I don't binge drink anymore. Just make changes to make my own life better. But you know, people do have these problems like drinking and gambling and drugs and what have you. So thankfully, he's through it. He would have enjoyed that. He would have been emotional. He would have went through it all the night. He doesn't show it publicly, but inside, when he gets home the night, he might even have a tear. You never know. Because it was really emotional at the end. Even I was wobbling. So, like I say, check the vlog out for that, and let's just hope that he's through it all, and we'll have him for the rest of the season, because I think we're going to rely on him, and I think he's going to absolutely relish. I predict, I'm going to say it now, he'll be our player of the season. Come back to this video, he'll be our player of the season. I'm just going to put it out there. I think it's just written for him to come back with a vengeance. I really do. And it's his night. Newcastle have won on penalties, yes, but We'll talk about the transfer window in a second, but here is what Eddie Howe said about that penalty shootout.
Shootouts are always a lottery. I thought our lads coped with that pressure really well, especially as they had the first kick and their end. So full credit to the players for keeping their composure in that moment. Yeah, we practiced yesterday. I mean, you don't get a great deal of time in between games, but that's something that we always prioritise. I was hoping that we wouldn't need it. We had a great start today, but we lost our way in the game, and I know we recovered really in the second half. I thought lots happened. I thought we struggled with the ball at times. Their shape was good and compact and back five, and we struggled to break them down. And I think our off the ball shape wasn't its normal level. I thought our intensity levels weren't quite there until the second half. The last half an hour I thought was us. A much better level, much much greater impact. I thought the substitutes made a big difference.
So that was Eddie Howe. Look, transfers, we'll have to talk about it because we're so close to it. And for me, obviously the lads have just said they're hopefully going for Guehi. They've got to get the move on. They've got to get the skates on. Obviously, I'm going to be bringing you a few deadline day videos on Friday for the ins and outs, including any of the loans that might go out, like the kids or any of the first team, maybe Dubravka, whenever we don't know about that, Alex Murphy, Jamie Miley, Trevan Sanusi, will they all get loans? We will see someone come in for Almiron. Fulham's been linked. We will see one of the left backs like Jamal Lewis or Matty Target leave without goods. But hopefully we're talking about positivity and we'll have an incoming or two. But Darren Eales, Paul Mitchell have got to get their fucking work put on, because if the transfer window shuts, and I think it's important to win tonight because it kind of puts it in the back burner for 24 hours, only for 24 hours, not even that. It's got to start tomorrow morning, 12 hours, because Newcastle fans are going home happy that they're through. But imagine if we got beat tonight, the first thing on everyone's lips is transfers again, because we need bodies in. Now, if we shut the window, you have to say that Eddie Howe hasn't been back this summer, and people are saying, oh, the squad's still good enough to get European place. No European football this season to play either. Yes, they do, but you still want to strengthen, you still want to back your manager. Lewis Hall deal was already done last season. We had to sign Vlachodimos so Anderson can come here, so we don't get deducted points. We signed John Ruddy. I don't really get that because he got Mark Gillespie. I didn't really get that, to be honest with you. Willa Sula, that's what Eddie Howe wanted. I don't think that's for now. I think that's probably for the future. Callum Wilson will be back after the Spurs game, so he should be close after the international break. Tonali's back. Miley can't be that far away. Lewis Miley's gone. It's got to be a matter of 5-6 weeks hopefully, and Botman and Lascelles are still long term. But back to the topic at hand, we've got to get transfers done. We've got to have that. If it's a centre back and a right winger, so be it. And we bang the drum and all that, because if you look at the transfer window, it hasn't been great. I've just seen Liverpool. Looks like they're on the verge of signing Chiesa for something like 10 million plus a couple of million add-ons. Mental. Why can't we be in that type of player? It doesn't have to be exactly him, but it could be on the same calibre. Do you know what I mean? But look, it's disappointing. I just hope that there's good news Thursday and Friday. I think. See how it is. I think if we didn't sign anybody, I think there might be a few murmurs on Sunday that fans might not be happy, put it that way. I don't think fans are happy at the minute. I think some people might say that the performances the first 3 games of the season have been great. I'll think of it as a positive. We're 3 unbeaten. We haven't been beaten yet. Yes, we haven't played anyone big. Spurs is the big test for me. But if Newcastle haven't signed anybody by come Sunday, and Sunday happens to be a defeat, you never know. You might have 1 or 2 turn on Mitchell and Darren Eales. You never know. Now, I didn't want that one signing to happen, but look, we'll see. We'll bring you up to date on the socials and videos. We've got to get signings done. We'll have to. But we'll put that on the back burner for the next 12 hours because Newcastle are through. And cup competitions are important, because if we went out the night, don't sign anybody, that wouldn't have been a good 48 hours or so. But I'm going to head up, back to the car, get the vlog out. That's it from the City Ground. So love yous and leave yous, everyone. Ta-da.